begin. What is up, Wise Take Nation? It is the boy here, BrewMedic47, coming to you guys live from a coronavirus-free zone for the moment. I am joined here, as always, for this week's PGA DFS Wise stream by my partner in crime. You look extra white tonight.
Yeah, the lighting's weird.
I'm going to start calling you Cap.
I can't see my face. I only can see two of you, which is annoying.
Does your face hurt? It's killing me. Shocky. What is up? Shocky at Clint Petrikis.
Well, it's here. Maybe a normal weekend of golf.
Maybe.
People don't shoot 1 million over par, and only 3 people finish under par.
Oh my, well, if we even get to the weekend, because this stuff is madness right now.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, we're going to do this show like everything's going to be fine, and we'll see what happens.
So they haven't announced anything, they would definitely announce something by now, I would assume. I don't assume anything anymore. But not on the greatest video coverage weekend they've ever had. Please, no.
I'm so excited to see how this works. I just have a feeling it's going to fail horribly. But we'll get into that in just a moment. First off, everyone, if you're following along at home, please click the like button, turn on your notifications so you can be notified when we are live. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up, throw some feedback in the comments, let us know, please, by all means, what you want us to change, do different, what you like, all of that. This week, we are talking about the players. I love the players. Players is awesome. I am a player, so makes sense. Don't be a player hater. Yeah, so the players coming to us live from Ponte Vedra.
Didn't mention last week.
No, I'm getting there. I'm just talking.
Okay, sorry.
We'll get into the course shortly. Thank you, Shaki. But yeah, players. It's an awesome event. It's the 5th major. I know we've been joking for a while about tournaments being. I've been joking, but this is the best field we're probably going to see all year.
And a non-major, actual major.
I don't know. I think you could argue in some cases that this field is better than like the Open, where they have like an absurd amount of like random amateurs and whatnot.
Of U.S. majors.
Last week, my mistake. My apologies. Last week. So how did last week go for you? I loved last week. I thought last week was a ton of fun.
My main lineup went fine. I cashed in the large field GPPs, but not my like 20 and 30 mans because Rory, the one guy that beat me on both of them, didn't have Rory, and Rory shot an amazing 4-over on Sunday. I did have Hatton, a decent amount of Hatton, which is chalky, but there was a good reason. Yep. It's not like he played well. I don't think anybody shot 2 under combined through the Saturday and Sunday.
No.
Somebody that made a cut, was it Opium? Something like that. He barely made the cut 3 over, and then he finished at 25 over.
Oh, yeah. So, Oppenheimer or whatever.
Yeah. Opioids. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, and then Hideki comes in top 20 into the weekend, and then at -2 going into Saturday, finishes at 11 over. It's like, good, nice. And then Sanjay M just really doesn't want to go to war, so he keeps just playing amazing.
I love it. It's true. It's so true, though. That's exactly what it is.
Like, if there's ever a narrative, that he's the first war narrative. I'll give him that.
Yes, I will say the first draft dodging narrative.
Yeah. To try to get an Olympic medal, who I don't even know who would be on his team, but I don't think they're going to medal.
I mean, he could carry them. I mean,
a 22-year-old.
He's a baller, man. He is a baller. So
these young guys, like,
you gotta realize a lot of like the big guns aren't going to play in the Olympics. Like,
the Americans, like Koepka said he won't, but Thomas said he's going to.
DJ's not going to play.
No, but it's not like you're just going to have a bunch of bums. You'll have a couple of good players, and depending on the rest.
Yeah.
Because it's all dependent on points. If you play in the Euro Tour, it's depending on like Euro Tour points, I think, right? And then PGA Tours for U.S. players.
I'm not sure. How.
Well, I know
each country's Olympic committee selects. So I don't even know how.
I thought it was based on points for the Olympics, but this year is weird with the Olympics and then the Ryder Cup. You got all this stuff where you got to collect so many points. Yeah. But the Olympics is different with golf because it hasn't been there.
Yeah.
So I think more people want the Olympics than they do the Ryder Cup because the Ryder Cup's every year.
It's gonna be interesting to see this year too because we've never really had. Like I think since the last Summer Olympics, I would say that PGA popularity has exploded, and thanks in large part to DFS. So it's going to be interesting to see how popular the Olympics are.
They better have lineups for it.
I know, seriously.
That'd be awesome.
As Olympics, yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be interesting. But
real quick, do you know where it is? I don't even know where the Summer Olympics is.
I think it's. I don't know.
I want to be in a location where it's not 12 hours past my time, so it's like 2 a.m.
I had a feeling it was somewhere in Asia, but
oh, great!
I don't know.
So it's going to be at middle of the night.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
But go ahead.
Most likely wrong. Yeah, my week was good. Yeah, Cash hit. Cash, Hatton helped. DeChambeau was awesome. Yeah, lineup. Tokyo. Hey, I was right.
Wow.
So Cash did well. GPP sucked, but Cash carried me. Hatton was great. The Stenson missed cut was just savage.
Stenson and Scott.
Oh my god! When he made that birdie on like 16, and I was celebrating, and then double bogey at 18. Like
what? Oh, McNeely. Forgot to mention that.
Expect a statement from the NHL tonight.
But anyways, back to this. McNeely, yeah, he did the same thing.
Yep.
Birdied 17 and then bogeyed to miss by 1.
Yep. So that was fun. But yeah, like four out of 6 held on very well. And that's literally all it did was hold on. Like I don't think my little dots moved at all during the weekend. I think they just everyone just held where they were. All my guys just held fast. Played relatively close to even par. And everyone else just fell off. Everyone else just shit the bed on the weekend. But the good news is, this week, we're going to have no fucking wind. None whatsoever.
5 to 10.
So, I see 6 at the most was what I looked at.
Gusts of 10. So sustained winds less than that.
Yeah, which is nothing compared to what we've seen.
No.
So yeah, I'll get into the course and then we'll start talking about our players.
Perfect.
Right. Welcome one and all to Ponte Verde Beach, Florida, and the TPC Sawgrass for the legendary Players Championship. I love this event, and I'm so happy to see it get moved up in the tour schedule, as it was for the first time last year. This event is one of, if not the biggest event on tour, including majors, as this event carries the largest purse and first place prize of any event on the tour. For some reason, it's just not recognized by the Euro Tour. Widely known as the 5th major with the strongest field we've seen this year, and we will see until we get to the majors. Everyone wants to play here and win here and take home that giant check, both literally and figuratively huge. This event has typically been brutal by DFS standards, as we can see some real carnage on this course. This is the crown jewel of Pete Dye designs, and there's truly no one style of player that does well here. You need golfers strong in all aspects of their game. This course blends it all. Hazards everywhere, crazy hard par 4s, a mixed bag of par 3s and par 5s that are pretty reachable by everyone. Dye wanted golfers to take risks and ensure that only players playing their best game would take home the cup here. This is also a uniquely favorable course for the spectators, and this event should really be called the Visitors, as Dye designed mounds into the course for spectators to give them a better view of the course and players that they came to watch. The mounds can also serve as a hazard themselves for the golfers if they get up onto them. So, source says the NHL won't suspend play, at least not immediately. Whew. Anyways, the course itself. TPC Sawgrass is a 7,200-yard par 72, so we have a shorter par 72. with 4 par 3s and 4 par 5s. As mentioned before, there are a ton of hazards here, from the bunkers to the mounds, water, lots of water. Many a player has been in contention or above the cut line before coming into 17 here and sacrificing a few balls to the water gods. This is another grinder's course where your main goal is to avoid the big number. The winning score here has only been higher than minus 15 twice in the last 10 years, and winners have usually been absolute fire with their wedges. They've hit tons of greens, and when they miss, they're able to get up and down to avoid big numbers. The majority of the points scored here are done on par 5s and like 1 par 4 that's like under 300 yards, which is pretty common on the tour. But also, if we look, we see there are scoreable holes on the par 3s and par 4s with some nasty fuckers that you're just happy to limp away with par from. From the tee box, golfers will see fairways that are narrow but closer to tour average in width. However, these tee shots have a degree of visual intimidation that is common with deep dye designs. The fairways are hit here on an average rate, but where the cream will rise to the top is on approach. The majority of golfers will take left-hand driver off the tee here so they can accurately place their shots to give them the best approaches into these greens. On approach, golfers will see smaller than average greens, and they are small. They played relatively firm last year because they were reseeded recently within the last couple of years. But we're going to have to see, actually. It could go either way because there hasn't been much rain. They could be baked out. Like the tour could just be like, fuck it, it's not going to be windy. Let's let this course play hard, so let's bake them out and not really water them. Or they could say, hey, let's have some fun this week, dump a bunch of water onto them, and soften them up considerably, which will make them much, much easier. We'll have to see. The greens here are well defended by bunkers and water, and again, it is huge that golfers can get up and down should they miss them. This course is historically a 3-putt monster as well, as is, Pete Dye took his green designs very seriously and made them diabolical. Golfers avoid hitting multiple putts will leave themselves in a very good spot. I said like the same exact thing twice here. Oops. Oh well. Let's see. That's this week. I dug a little bit deeper into the course, and if we look, actually, driving accuracy is actually like one of the main things that I'm focusing on this week. Driving accuracy has shown to be way more important than pretty much anything else compared to like your average tour course. It's a less than driver course, so we want guys that are accurate. And then again, we talked about that second shot. This is all about your approach shots here. And actually, the course that like lines up mostly with TBC Sawgrass is Sedgefield, which is where they play the Wyndham. Brent Snedeker narrative. And yeah, so I got a little off the green, some sand saves, proximity, a little par 5 scoring, birdie or better, bogey avoid, greens and reg. That's pretty much it for me. Shockey, what do you got? Comment.
Everything there, and then I just had a little bit of 3-putt avoid, and then par 4, a little bit of par 4, 450 to 500. Because of those being the hardest holes on the course are those long par 4s.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then driving accuracy that was one of my highest included in this.
Yep. So I don't know if you have physically looked at my article this week, but I kind of switched it up. I was still kind of stuck in like the habit of doing like a semi-hybrid cash/GPP article from last year. And I was like, well, Shockey's writing the GPP article, so everyone's in your very, very capable hands with that. So I really slimmed my article down and really directed it more for cash game purposes. I still have GPP plays that I like, and I will discuss them here. But for the purposes of reader simplicity, I left them out of the article and just talked about my cash plays. So
I skimmed through it. There was same plays, different plays.
Yeah.
Today.
So let's do it. 10K and up, Mr. Chacarito.
Woods has withdrawn, obviously. 5 players withdrawn. Woods, Lee Westwood, Shugo Yamaha,
Imahara.
Kelly Craft, and Jonas Blix, which, if you've looked at the lobby, you know this already.
Yep.
Well, with Woods and Westwood, if you even scroll down to all the way to the bottom of those names.
Yeah. Imahara is like second to last on the list.
Yeah. Woods and Day. Oh, and Jason Day. Sorry.
Right? Day withdrew?
I thought. Oh no, maybe not. No. Why did I see it? I know, but
remember you won a bet.
I know, but why did I
take the money?
For some reason I thought I saw something. But maybe it was just a misprint on this. No, yeah. He's playing. Okay. It was just, but yeah.
Which is weird because he looked like garbage last week. Like, he looked uncomfortable. Like, he looked like he was in pain.
Yeah, and it's just like Woods didn't play the past couple weeks, and
yeah,
like I think
too.
Yeah, and it's a shame, like a shame for fans, but DFS didn't really have an effect though. But yeah, but there's not counting Woods, there's 5 guys. Rory up top 11-7.
Yep.
Dustin at 10,000.
Yeah. Did you hear Chicago scored again?
No, I didn't. But after this, I'll look at it. Obviously, I'm gonna say Rory. You have to, like, even at the most expensive, like 5 straight top 5s, a win 6 events ago, and he's just been one of the best, most consistent golfers here on tour this year. Even though Justin Thomas is leading FedEx Cup points, I don't believe he's the better golfer than Rory right now. He's also played, I think, in a couple more events too. So his history here is 8th, T8th, T12th, 35th cut, and won it last year. And third, he's third in my model in the last 12 rounds of everything. Third in tee to green and 6th in total strokes gained in the last 12 rounds here. First tee to green and 8th total strokes gained. I included Pete Dye courses that are less than 7,200 yards for because this has played less than 7,200 yards for 3 years now.
Yeah, I rounded up. It up when I said that.
Yeah.
192. You know, like.
Yeah. It's like close. It's like, I just didn't want the 7,400 for really long courses of Pete Dye, but yeah, just most expensive. You'll have to, you can't build as much of a balanced build with him, but if you want avoid an extra, instead of 3 solid players, go to 2. He's obviously a great choice. And then I wrote Dustin Johnson. He hasn't been playing great. I really liked Rahm, but I didn't want to have 2 of the top price guys. And then Dustin Johnson's in there, 10K again. Not high in my model, but he's played amazing here. He's first in tee to green and 3rd in total strokes over the last 12 rounds here. 4th in tee to green, 3rd in total strokes on Pete Dye courses. 5 straight cuts made. 2nd was his best, but that was on the Euro Tour. But he's had 2 top 10s on the PGA Tour as well. One of them was the Century of Champions. But history of here: 69th, 28th, 12th, 17th, and a 5th last year. And he should come the lowest owned of this 10K range. I think he might be below 10%. Might be around that 10% range. And for a guy that's played so well here, GPP play just because of he isn't coming in with the greatest form, but he can come in and smash any tournament if it's just the right weekend for him, even in bad form. So I like him as that lowest 10K and above guy for low ownership, and has played really well here.
So it's Rory and DJ for you?
Yeah, and then if I had to put a third guy, just out of 5 guys, it would be Rahm, would be another one of those guys.
All right.
No interest in Koepka. Thomas was like 4th, and it's just like, I'd rather pay up the extra 200 for Rahm if I was picking between the 2.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
No Rory from me.
Oh, wait, I read your article. Yeah, it said that. Yeah. You only had one guy.
So I can't say no Rory, because if I'm going to make 3 lineups. I don't think Rory is going to be on one of them. If I make 20 lineups, I might have a little bit of Rory. But he is not going to be low owned. He's like the second or third highest projected owned guy this week. Second. So, yeah, like I said before, this is driving accuracy. So this course is really going to limit Rory's huge edge that he has over everyone, and that's with his off the tee game, with his driving distance. I think Rory does fine here. Obviously, the last time he had not a top 5 finish was August 18th at the BMW. Come on. Like, obviously, I'm not saying Rory's a bad golfer. Obviously, I'm not saying I don't think he does well here. There's also no one has ever defended this tournament. No winner in the past has ever defended the next year. And yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm more likely to fade the top price golfer. That's just who I am as a player. I think Roy's gonna be chalky, and I think that's gonna steer a lot of people to build in a certain direction. And if I'm playing GPPs and want to get different than everyone, I'm gonna go in a different direction. So I love John Rahm. Rombo is a cash play for me up here if we are playing someone above 10K, which I usually never do. I'm much more of a balanced lineup kind of guy when it comes to cash. So, yeah, I usually don't take someone above 10K in cash, or at least I'll take someone right at 10K, but not really go higher. But we have major-esque pricing this week, which means it's pretty soft. So soft. So you can do it if you want to go up this high. But yeah, for me it's Rahm. And then no DJ for me. I'm not on board with DJ train, but Koepka interests me because he's still like number 3 overall. And
the thing concerned me, I watched the hole last week.
Play terrible. Yes, he shit the bed on Saturday and shot like 10 over.
Well, he did twist his knee on the bunker shot.
Did he?
Yeah, and it didn't show anything. Like, Sunday made me think it's like, okay, it was just one day. But he did twist his knee a little. I don't know about how he feels now. Because it's like it was a bunker shot where his feet weren't in the bunker and the ball was below his feet. So he had to plant it weird. Mm-hmm. But then he came back with Sunday with a 2-under. So I think it's nothing, just something to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, I'm looking at projections of this upper range, right? And we have
I see it.
Rory 25%, Rahm 20, JT 18, DJ 14, Cantlay 20, Scott 15, Brooks Koepka 4.5.
Tiger Woods 0.3.
Yeah, just because.
It's like he could come in.
Yeah, he might come in. He's the ultimate GPP play. So Brooks interests me at a relatively cheap price, and this is a major. And we always talk about Brooks at majors. It's a major. It literally is the biggest paycheck you can get on the PGA Tour.
Does he care about that or just actual majors?
No, I think he cares about winning the Players. I think the Players is a tournament that he wants to win. So Koepka interests me. I'm off DJ. JT just He's in this weird like purgatory-esque area for me right now where I just don't have an opinion on JT.
He's inconsistent.
Yeah, and if you like JT, play JT. He's done well here. He's last 5 years he's made the cut. He's got a T3. He's got a T11. Like, I get it, but for me it's going to be Rahm and probably Koepka up in here.
Yeah, and
up in here. San Jose scores. All right, 9K range. There's a lot to like in here.
It was hard to pick some of these guys.
It is, and I think if you start your lineup, if you make like 2 guys in this 9K range, like put them in your lineup, I think
you can feel very comfortable with it.
And you're getting weird right off the bat, which is what we want to do in big GPPs. So, I mean, I'm going to say The easiest way for me to put this is the only one I don't like in this range is Fleetwood. I'm not playing Fleetwood. DeChambeau is a cash, like, full-on super chalky core. He's projected to be the highest owned golfer this week. He's cash core, absolutely. Probably going to, I mean, Bryson is just Bryson this week. You can play Simpson in cash as well. I mean, he has won here. He did win here 2 years ago. Good with his irons. He has a strong game. Grades out well in my GPP model. Xander, we always play Xander at big events. Xander's 7th in my model. And his worst number is actually his driving accuracy. So we'll look out for that. Cantlay is Cantlay. He had surgery on a deviated septum last week or a couple weeks ago. And I'm not really worried about that because it's your nose. And you don't really have to use your nose too much to golf, last I checked. So I'm not really buying into that.
Balance,
yes. Airflow. And then Scott. He's Scott. I mean, I was hoping his ownership would get dipped a little bit after last week. But I guess, yeah, it kind of is like 15%. That's kind of low. So Scott's.
But it's like usually these high price plays are always going to be most of them are going to be. Yeah. Because it's just like no one's just going to build all 7K guys or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, I mean, he's cash viable too, absolutely. I mean, he is the actual leader in this entire field in total strokes gained over the last 5 years with 4 top 12s. He's coming in good form despite, last week. But I'm willing to cross off last week because of how absurd those conditions were. So yeah, that's this range for me. What do you got?
I mean, it's the same. It's Webb Simpson's my number one. He's played well here. He's so it's weird. He's a great putt. Like, it's 19th in tee to green and first on total strokes for Pete Dye, which means he's still great tee to green. Just excels on the short game on these type of courses. I mean, his recent form, if you don't count the WGC where he played like dog shit, but you have to, but he came 61st out of 72 people. But before that, a win, 2 top 5s, and a top 10. I mean, I don't think he's come into better play to this event than that. And then, yeah, it's just past 4 of the past 5 years he's played here. 15 was 66, but then other than that, 2 16s, one included last year and a win in 18. Bryson, for some reason, in the last 12 rounds, he's only 61st in the field in fairways gained, but he also played on at the Honda and the Arnold Palmer, which it's like really hard fairways to hit. These ones are still hard, but not as hard. But he still gained, and since he's done all that, since he's did that 25 pounds of muscle added in the offseason, his lowest off the tee strokes gained is 3.8 at the Genesis. Everything else is 5, 6, 7. He's bombing it off the tees, and he's actually in the last 12 rounds been the best opportunities gained, 5th best greens regulation, 2nd best tee to green, and the best ball striker. And for some reason, he's terrible at 3 putt avoids and sand saves. But everything else is just, I mean, great. And in his history here, 2 years of play, or he's young, so young, even though it seems like he's been here forever.
Yeah,
he's
only like his third year. Really 2.5 years on tour.
Yeah. 37th and 18, 20th and 19. So it's good to see improvement. He went up in 2 consecutive years, and then it's Cantlay. I mean, it's always Cantlay. It's just what kind of putting week he's going to have, because he is better on other surfaces, but it just seems it doesn't matter. It's just it depends on what kind of putter he is that week. He can be back and forth. But yeah, I mean, Scott was close. I'd say Scott would be 4th for me in that. And then, yeah, no really interest in Fleetwood. this week. He doesn't, even though he's played really well here, I don't know. It just seemed like I like those other guys a lot more than Fleetwood, but still really strong 9K range. And then let's go into the 8K range, which I did not like as much as the 9K range.
Yeah, I'm on board. I'm with you.
I mean, I know we're going to be on the same top two guys. I mean, 8K starts at top at 88 of Hideki Matsuyama. Goes all the way down to Louis and Sergio
You're
at
just
8K.
not going to mention Ricky?
Oh, sorry. No, he's so dirty. So, no, Ricky at 8,900. Louis and Sergio are 8,000. No Ricky, but I will do Hideki at 8,800. 6 in my model. Just a reminder, his putting. It's just always his putting, but great irons, tee to green, ball striking. Last 12 rounds here, he's 10th in tee to green, 6 total strokes. Last 5 events, top 25, top 10, and a top 5. T56 last week, but we discussed that because he had a horrendous weekend. Sorry. Last 5 years, 17th, 7th, 22, cut, and an 8th last year. Upside with consistency, other than 1 cut, but that could have been an anomaly. Like I said, he's probably going to come in at a high ownership, but with this 8K being weak, if I was to go here, it'd be him. And then, of course, it's going to be the next one, obviously, Sanjay. I mean, I said 3 weeks ago, I'm like, to play Sanjay at 9K was like, I had to see a top 10. And then what does he do?
He wins.
He wins. And I'm like, okay, he's bad in the wins. And then what does he do? Third place. Third. Yep, third. And I'm like, I love Sanjay too. It's not like I don't like him. The reason was because he was so expensive. 8,600. He's second year on tour. Played here once, cut. But like I said, he's got the war draft narrative thing going on, and he's been balling.
The anti-war narrative.
I mean, he even on 2 hard courses in a row. I'm not saying this is an easy course, but 2 harder courses in this, he played outstanding. Weaker fields, of course, but I mean, some of the best players didn't even play as well as him. So yeah, it'd be Sanjay, and then Paul Casey with his iron play. Doesn't rank super high. He's 18th in my model. His last 2 events, after the Pro-Am, he gained over 5 strokes on approach, also with 5.5 and 7.4 strokes tee to green after that. But he's also, it's like Hideki. It's a poor man's Hideki, but he was a Hideki before Hideki because he's older than him. He's made 5 straight cuts, 2 top 25s, and 11th in his last event. If he can limit his 3 putts, he should be able to get in that top 25 again. That at 8,200, that should be fine for him, depending on what the rest of the lineup does. In his last 3 times playing here, 23rd, 22nd cut last year. And then Gary Woodland, 13th in my model. His biggest thing has been his driving accuracy, but he's made up for it with his iron play. Like after his driver shots, he's just been hitting the greens. After that, he's gained 6.3 and 9 strokes tee to green in his last 2 events. Don't say anything. He'll also gained strokes and approach in his last 5 recorded events. But
in case you're wondering, Zibanejad scored a goal.
That's surprising. Not surprising. You made me mess up. His putting is concerned as well, but he's gained strokes putting in his last 3 consecutive events. 4 of his last 5 cuts with a top 25, top 10, 8th. History here of cut, 28th, 75th, cut, and 30th. It was just because I really, depending on just overall play and all that, it was just Gary Woodland was the 4th guy. Like I said, I didn't really love this 8K range. It was more that came down to of how you've been playing in your last few events for me. So it was Matsuyama, M, Casey, and Woodland.
Yeah, so I like those guys. I'm not gonna Not going to harp on them too much. Matsuyama is, of course, just a cash core play. I mean, we love him at this price. He's going to be pretty chalky. But, yeah, 4th total strokes gain in this field over the last 5 years. Just missed the cut in 18 when he had a wrist injury. So, yeah, he's cheap comparatively, and he should be a lock for a made cut. Again, yep, he's an animal. Just grinds every week. And then, no Fowler, no Rose. I think Reed is interesting because Reed's been playing really well. Doesn't really grade out too terribly well in my GPP model, but projected to be like 15% owned. All right, that's some ownership, that's for sure. No Day. No Day.
Not with his back issues last week. Withdrawing and then playing the next week.
Which is what he did last year. It's exactly what he did last year when he went to Disney.
Well, was this his back last year, or he just really wanted to go to Disney?
Well, he said it was his back, but then he went to Disney. So
I think he was on a roller coaster a few hours later.
Yeah, he was shooting Buzz Lightyear laser beams at the aliens. So, hey, to each their own. Yeah, like Woodland, everything you said, grades out high in my GPP model. Like Casey, everything you said, grades out high in my GPP model. Riley Green and sand saves kind of sucks, but yeah. And then Sergio. All over Sergio. Love him in cash. He's been playing really well on the Euro Tour. 8 of 8 made cuts this year. A couple top 10s. He's been playing super, super well, and he's projected to be super low owned. So, love me Sergio in cash because this is going to be one of those weeks where everyone's going to play the chalk. This cash lineup this week, off the bat, builds itself very, very easily. Berger, DeChambeau, Matsuyama, builds itself super easily. Morikawa, and then one of those guys, 2 of those guys are gonna miss the cut. Like that's just the way that golf is. That's just the way that this happens. I've been playing golf long enough and falling victim to chalky guys missing the cut far too many times to know that this week is going to be the week where it happens. And I love the idea of throwing a low-owned, basically a pivot. I mean, he's a brilliant GPP pivot off of Super Chalka Morikawa. But yeah, even in cash, like this 6% owned Sergio could do light years for you in the difference between like a 5 of 6 and a 4 of 6 if everyone has 4 of 6. So yeah, love me some Sergio. I'll go into the 7K real quick. Morikawa.
Go a little bit slower than real quick.
Oh, Morikawa. All right. Yeah, Morikawa. Just fucking, he's going to be super chalky. And you know what? Like, you could easily say that, there's some warts here because first-timers have traditionally never done well here. And this is his first time playing here. But every course he's played on has been his first time playing there, and he's still made the cut. So I question his GPP upside, but in cash, man, I don't know how you don't play Morikawa in cash. He's like $500 too cheap. First in this field, strokes gained approach, 11 of 11 made cuts. I think he's just as pure of a lock as it gets in cash. But GPPs, Garcia, fantastic pivot. And then we have Stenson. Stenson's price has plummeted. Yeah, he missed the cut last week. We talked about that. He was going to make the cut, and then he melted down on 18 and shot double bogey, which happens. And he fucked everyone. He was chalk last week, and he fucked everyone. I'm talking about Stenson.
Yep.
And golf is a funny game where if you go back and the guy that fucked everyone last week is like 0% owned, and he's still a good golfer. He still has good history here. There's just, Sergio is such a great, he missed the cut in 19 and he missed the cut in 16, but he also has 3 top 25s. He's in good form. His irons are good. His driving accuracy is good. He screwed everyone. Let me double check his ownership. Yeah, 8%. So, excellent week to get back on Stenson. Then we have Benny on. Yeah, he's a Pete Dye specialist.
And this is actually a Pete Dye, not last week.
Yes, last week was not a Pete Dye. Yes, oh, Blackhawk scored again.
Yeah,
that was my bad. What's that? It was Taze?
Kane.
Oh, of course it was. So, yeah, Benny on, the question is always his putting. He's great around the green, good with his irons. It's just, he loves Pete Dye courses for whatever reason. It's just, what the fuck is he going to do with his putter this week? I'll move on to Kuchar, cash game Kuchar. Kuchar 7,800 in a strong field event like this is like what we dream of for cash games. Like, Kuchar is always going to be in play for me when he is this cheap in an event like this that he has good history at, good with his irons, good off the tee, good out of the sand. Like, I love me some Kuchar. He's going to show up here, grind out, make the cut, walk home with a check at the end of the week with a smile on his face. Then I'll drop down to Leash. The Leash, he's apparently, no one's been paying attention to how well he's been playing because he is this cheap.
That's what I said.
Yeah, okay. He has a win and a second place in the last 4 events with 8 of 9 made cuts on tour this year. And his history here hasn't been great. He's coming in super hot, grades out well in my model, second in his field on approach. His driving accuracy kind of sucks, but he's good out of the sand, bogey avoidance, yeah. I think, let's see what his ownership is looking like. I'm sure it's going to be low.
Yeah.
Nope. High. My bad. 20%. So, yeah, he's going to be chalky, but I still like him. Keep moving on down here. Definitely not playing Hatton after last week because I got a notification from the PGA Tour where he was, quote, drinking vodka out of the bottle. That was, some...
Also, he's missed 2 straight cuts here.
Well, yeah, there's that. But, he partied. He's a partier. He's an Englishman. I just love how, the PGA is, some snuffy old white guy that was he was drinking vodka out of the bottle.
He should be drinking scotch. That's from year 1820. From
a fluted whiskey glass.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. We need the XFL guy running the PGA Tour Twitter.
Yeah, seriously.
That would be awesome.
Sending out those notifications. And then Berger. I know he's your boy. I'm going to let you talk about him. But he's going to be super, super chalk this week. And that's fine, because I like him.
I don't care. Yep. I've been riding him before he was chalky Berger.
Yeah.
When I first wrote him up?
Oh, God, the first event of the year.
Sony Open, I wrote him up. He didn't do amazing. He came at even. He made the cut, and he was 7,300 that week.
Yeah.
If I'm on a guy and he's been doing super well, I don't care what his ownership is because, especially at 7,200. Oh wait, I was gonna.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna look until I'm done with the Berger thing, but yeah. So
let me. Over. That's pretty much the 7K range for me. So you take it over.
Yeah, let me tell you something about. So I was gonna mean to mention this. I guess this is a good time to mention it for this week. I don't know if you saw my picture. 8 of the last 10 winners of the players has already bagged a T4 or better finish in this year, including the wraparound season and all of that. Berger has done that. I'm not saying he's going to win, but
sounds like you're saying he's going to win.
At the last 13 winners in their career, they've had a 23rd or better. He had a T9th 4 years ago. So he meets the realm of qualifications of being a winner.
And sounds like you're saying he's going to win.
Oh my God! If he won, I'd love it. I'd love to see. Wouldn't you love to see Daniel Berger win this?
I'd love it. Especially because we're both on him. Dude, put your nuts out there. Say Daniel Berger's going to win this week.
I would say
it.
What?
Say
Daniel, why not take a $1 bet, put it on Berger?
You're such a pussy.
I'm not gonna say. You know what? Go play your life savings on Berger because he's gonna win it this week. I might come back to this and be like, yeah, I told you so, but I'm not saying that.
Just man, come on.
I would definitely, if you're betting it, I'd put each way with the top 5. He's got top 9th here. He's coming in super hot, second in my model. He's been 10th top 10 in approach, fairways, gains,
I'm picking
opportunities.
him in one and done. I'm putting him right now as my one and done.
Put it.
Because you're big of a pussy to say he's going to win this week.
I did say. I said put a bet on for winning each top 5 each way. 13th in ball striking, 11th tee to green, 5 straight cuts with the top 10, 2 straight top 5s. Gain strokes tee to green and off the tee in 6 straight events. Gain strokes on approach in 5 of his last 6. Gain strokes putting in 3 straight events. One of the hottest golfers that the PGA doesn't talk about, but DFS knows him well. He's been over 8Ks recent events because of weak fields and how well he's been playing. History here. Cut 5 years ago, team 9th, 65th, 57th.
Locked in.
Here we go. We're riding it because Daniel Berger, it's been Berger season. I think it's been like, I don't know what my love is with Berger, McNeely, Nesmith, and Nesmith, McNeely, and Berger. I've just been riding. Nesmith and McNeely didn't do well last week, but that was the first missed cut they've done since I've been playing them since the beginning of the calendar year. But yeah, love Berger. I don't care his ownership. I've been riding him all year, so I'm going to keep doing it. And he's great ball. He's a great ball striker. Plays amazing at Pete Dye courses. He's 14th in tee to green. Not going to say he's not great in total strokes because of his putting. If he can limit. It's like Paul Casey and Matsuyama. The great iron players, it's just putting. It's like, hey, let's take an extra 2 hours on the putting. It's like you don't care about that. You're just hoping that you get everything inside 5 feet. That's fine, but at least do it. Last 3 or 4 years here, cut 30th, 26. It's 7,800. Top 30th is great, and he is upside beyond 25th, I think. You didn't have him. I scrolled over your article. Billy Horschel, 10th in my model. He's been an accurate driver his last 3 events. Good tee to green, ball striking, greens and regulation. He's a good putter. I finally mentioned a guy that's actually can putt consistently. He's made 5 straight cuts with 2 top 10s in that time. In his last 5 years here, 13th, 28th cut, 37th, 26th. Good history here, 7,500. Comes in playing well. I think anywhere like his other than the cut year in 1 year in the last 5 years, 37th to 20th, I think he can do with how well he's been playing if he keeps it up. Kyle Morikawa, not you. Already mentioned him, and before I left, I heard you say his name like 30 million times. So
yes, yep.
And then Leishman, same thing. I said too cheap. Like I don't know why. I think the only reason the algorithm has him this low is because of his course history here.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
Yeah, I'm not in DraftKings, so I don't know exactly every single detail their algorithm goes over. But you'd think he'd be 8,000 for the way he's playing. Like, he's not a 7,600 guy. Being chalky, Leishman, makes me nervous, but he's playing good, so I still like him. I'll take Abraham Answer. He only played it once, which is last year. He came in 12th. I don't expect that again, but at 7,200, you don't need a top 15. At 7,200. 58th in my model, but he's 31st in tee to green, 18th total strokes gains on Pete Dye courses in this yardage range. Like I said that he's gained strokes tee to green, approach, and off the tee in 4 of his last 5 events. 4 straight cuts, not including the WGC, with a top 25, top 10, and a second place 5 events ago. So I like him, and if he does anything close to what he did last year, that would be great. And then Ian Poulter, I played him last week. That was an interesting ride, but everything was an interesting ride. He was doing well in the first round, made the cut, and then he still finished better than Hidek. Yeah, it's like whatever. More of a he's a good Pete Dye guy and a course history. Last 12 rounds here, 8th tee to green, 5th best total strokes gained golfer here in the last 12 rounds. So 3 full events. Last 24 rounds on Pete Dye courses. 11th tee to green, 8th total strokes gain, 4 straight made cuts with 2 top 25s, a 32nd with a T32 last week. So he didn't do as bad. It just seemed like everybody just finished last after what they were doing. His last 5 years, 30th, 57th, T2nd, T11th, and T56. I'm surprised you didn't mention him with how well he's played here. What?
Who's that?
Poulter.
Oh,
just like if he won't grade high in. He didn't grade high in my model, but like I said, it's more of a course history play, and he's a Pete Dye. He's been playing really well on Pete Dye courses. But that was it. So for me, it was Berger, obviously, and not far Ann and Berger are I just love them both. But I like the 7K range more than the 8K range.
You say you like an on Berger?
No, because I'm not a dad, so I don't do those jokes. I can resort to more crude humor at this point in my household.
I can too. I just get yelled at.
Yeah, no one else. They just laugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was Berger, on Horschel, Morikawa, Leishman, Answer, and Poulter. And then 6K range. I'm not gonna.
Not the love.
Should I just mention this at the top since there's always like 1,000 golfers in this range? I think I'll mention it. 6,900, 6,000 because there's like 6 guys at 6,000, 6,900. But Damen.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at on Monday. I saw on Twitter. I was like, I think Pat Mayo was responding to someone, and he's like, he's gonna be chalky. I'm like, what? Damen at chalk? This seems ridiculous. And if you just go by his past 12 rounds, he's 4th in my model. And I tapped the screen. I'm like, hey, you must be joking, right? No, he's been top in in the last 12 rounds of the events. He's played top 10 in ball striking, opportunities gained, and tee to green. Played here last year, like Answer, finished T12th.
Yeah.
4 straight cut mates with 2 straight top 5s. Gained strokes in 3 straight events of tee to green, off the tee, and approach.
And he lost strokes putting at the API.
Yeah. That's how good he played.
Yeah.
He played so well that he lost strokes putting.
And still top 5.
Yeah. Which was ridiculous. I did not think I'd be finding myself when I read the tweet. I'm like, there's no way I'd be on Damen. And then he ends up being one of my favorites.
Damon.
I like Damen better because it sounds more fluent.
Damon.
I say Damen.
Damon.
But if you look at it, it's like Damen.
Damen.
Gosh, it reminds me of a commercial, but I can't think. And then
about all
you know what? I won't say I'll let you talk about the $6,800 guy because I forget if he's in your article, but I'm 99% certain he is. 6,800.
There's a couple.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna say him. And then if you don't say him, I'll mention him. But and then of course Max Homa, 6,600. He's playing better than the guy that's my $6,800 guy that I won't mention because I'm making sure hasn't played here. A little concerning, but he's been playing. He's in his worst stat categories. He's played, and according to the field, in the last 12 rounds is above average. His worst is fairways gained, which he's 67th. Opportunities gained greens. Opportunities gains 59th, but 31st best in greens and regulations. Top 25 in approach ball striking, tee to green, 9th in my model. 5 straight cuts with 2 top 25s, 2 top 10s, and a top 5. Even though that $6,800 guy remained safer, Homa has the way he's been playing compared to him has a little bit more upside, but I think he's more of a boom or bust with this kind of field because I haven't seen him for not playing here is the reason. And then I'll take a punt in 6,400 of Brian Harman. He's a good Pete Dye guy, good course history here. In the past 5 years here, T8th, 54, 53rd, cut T8th. Yeah, it's barely making the cut and top 10. But at 6,400, I'm not going to get too picky at 6,400 for making 4 of the last 5 cuts here. Upside, it's like an upside safe, risky play kind of with his course history, but he's on Pete Dye courses, 50th tee degree and 22nd total.
Did you just say it was a safe, risky play? Is that what you just said?
No, a safe, risky upside play. There's upside, it's safe, it's risky, it's all of it.
That made it better. I think that made my confusion worse.
I think he's all of them.
Okay, he's all the words.
The realm of possibilities for him is like, top 10, he could miss the cut, but then he could just barely make the cut and be fine. He's all over the place. I don't know what to do with Brian Harman at this point.
You're all over the place.
Yeah, but I'll take him as a punt at 6,400. So the man, that 6,800 guy that you're going to mention, Homa Harman.
All right, yeah. So lot in here for me. So real quick, the Gooch.
Mm-hmm. He was cool.
Love the Gooch. Gooch is probably like the best cash play in this range. The Gooch is loose. Missed the cut last year, but whatever. It was his first time. Great form. 12 of 13 cuts on tour. Top 15, top 10 in the last 3 events. Yeah, all over the Gooch this week. Love him. I also like Bazundenhout. Is that the guy?
I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Bazunden. Is that why you wanted me to say it?
No, I didn't know I don't know what to make of him. Like, he played well last week, but it's like,
yeah, he's Euro. He's done decent on Euro.
Yeah. But then he comes to a big boy event.
Well, be all right. He's made 7 of 8 cuts this year, a couple top 20s, bunch of top 30s in the last 4 events. Like, yeah, I mean, for his price, I think he comes in pretty well. He flashed a little form last week, and then for cash, I wrote up Siwoo. He's another guy that likes die courses. He's won here. Okay, he has won.
And he's done well at previous years, but I don't remember the last time he's actually made a cut.
He's in terrible form, but he apparently loves it here. He made the cut at the Genesis. Thank you very much. Where he gained 5 strokes putting.
I didn't count that event.
I wouldn't. I would by all means try to avoid going down here. I guess, or you could just play Max Homa, who's probably a safer play in reality. But so we'll get back up here. Who else I like? Connors. We know what we're getting with Connors. It's just the question is his putting. He's 10th in this field, driving accuracy, 23rd approach, 1st at hitting greens in regulation. So yeah, just like don't suck at putting.
Oh wow, like a bunch of people that are amazing iron players.
And my dude, my main man, old man Furyk.
That's why I didn't mention him.
Yeah,
because I knew you. I didn't read your 6,000 other year, but I knew you were gonna have him.
He wasn't in there for cash because his form lately has been But yeah, I mean, I love me some old man Furyk. He did. I watched him and sweated the last round with him because I played him in cash last year, and he almost fucking won. He was winning at one point, and then Rory did Rory things and took it away from him.
Oh,
but that'll happen. So, and let me tell you, if Furyk won, I was winning a pile of money, but he didn't. So whatever. And I still did well last year at this event.
Yeah, so did I with Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas and Furyk. Yeah. So
I will never forget that.
First in this field driving accuracy, 10th on approach, 6 greens and reg. He's a grinder. We do not play Jim Furyk at long courses. We do not play Jim Furyk at long courses. He's like Kevin Kisner. We just don't do that.
Well, he's at this stage of his life, if you compare it to another old golfer, he's a shorter, more accurate Phil Mickelson.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm down with that. Yeah, irons are elite. Wedge game's strong. Decent putter. So yeah, I love me some Furyk and GPPs this week. He is projected to be 2%. 2%. What are you doing?
My mouse won't go over to my other screen. It's just staying in this corner.
chopping rails while we're doing the stream. Wait till it's done to do that.
Oh my gosh.
Degenerate. Cameron Triangle. Yeah, GPP play. Top 30 in my model. Good on approach. Good from the sand. Driving accuracy is terrible. So, yeah, you're not going to get anyone down here that doesn't really have any warts. Damon, yeah, obviously. Love Damon, just like you said. And then we come to Max Homa. 15th in my GPP model. Great bogey avoid. Great birdie better. Great sand saves. Great greens and reg. Decent on approach. Decent driving accuracy. Just terrible around the green. So we just got to hope that he hits the green and doesn't have to worry about trying to scramble. And drop down here a little more. Tom Hoagie. Our chalk play from a couple weeks ago gets buried down here in the 6,500 range. 15th at the API, missed the cut at the Honda, but pops up decently well in the GPP model. Hoagie, 18th. Good bogey avoid, good birdie better, good approach, good driving accuracy. And one more I'll throw out here real quick is Nick Watney. 22nd in the GPP model, good approach, good greens and reg, decent around the green. Driving accuracy sucks, but everything else is decent. And he's 6,200, so he's almost min price. So, yeah, he could, just make the cut. That's really all we want. And in a week filled with carnage, we just want guys to fucking play the weekend. That's all that matters. So that's all I have for this week, Mr. Shockey. How about you?
My mouse doesn't work. I can't move my thing out of the bottom corner. But yeah, that is it. Burger.
Burger.
If you have $1, or would I have burger? Why not? It's $1.
What are his odds again?
I can't.
Oh, come on.
I can't scroll. I forgot. Can you just pull it up because my screen's not working? I can't move over to the thing. I don't know what's going on. It just stopped working in this corner. I can see the time. That's all it pulls up is my time.
Where are you? Golf, win the players.
I guess I could look up on my phone.
You have to scroll all the way down. Oh, Daniel Berger. He is currently 66 to 1.
66 to 1?
Yeah. That's
man. That's not. I thought it'd be lower than that. Obviously, Vegas.
Too. Well, he's getting steamed. I wonder what he opened at. I bet he's getting steamed.
Yeah. I don't.
What do you need me to do?
No, I can look at my phone.
Yeah, because I'm on work Wi-Fi right now. So.
Yeah, I'm running like about 150. Oh, that's just round ones. I don't care. But nonetheless, people love him this week because he has the 8 of last 10 winners of top 4 finish in their current year, and has come better than 23rd in his career here. And he's been playing amazing.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean,
I'm on board.
I mean, I have him in my main.
Just say it. Just say he's your pick to win. That's all I want.
He's in my main lineup. Obviously.
Oh my God! Just say it.
He's one and done. You played him in one and done.
I played him in one and done. What is he on my bookie? Let me see.
If he wins this event, give this video 2 likes.
Like it, unlike it, like it.
Go on your spouse's girlfriend's account, YouTube account, like it again.
Spouse's girlfriend's account.
Spouses / girlfriends. I
think you have a window into my life. Like
no,
your girlfriend.
If you had a side piece, you would be dead.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's my girlfriend. Anyways. All right, everyone. That's going to do it for us before we go completely out of left fucking field. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Go throw $1 on Burger, and maybe you'll win $66. Well, $67 after they give you that back. So, all right, fam. Thank you, guys. Let's have fun this week. It's going to be a cool event if they don't cancel it because it's a plague. And thanks for joining in. We'll see you next week for the Paint Classic. The Paint Classic. That's going to do it for us this week, everyone. Catch you next week. Take it easy.